Welcome to today's session. So, Pilates with options. The options are not necessarily progressions, they are you checking in with yourself to see how you feel in this particular session. So the option is there if you want to take it. Some of the options will be challenge and balance, some of the options will be challenge and strength. What's really important is if your balance feels off, then work on the strength. If your strength for the option doesn't feel like it's there today, then go with the other option. It's not don't think of it as being more advanced, think of it as just an option for today that you can take if it feels right in your body. So let's get yourself on your back. Having the knees bent, feet flat on the floor, head rested down, hands to either side. We're going to start with some pelvic tilt. Rolling the pelvis away so you're creating a nice big deep arch in the back, and then pushing the lower back down almost to let the butt lift off the floor, but not quite. Just rolling back and forwards. Letting the hand rest at the side. And then find somewhere that feels like it's in the middle of those 2 points so that the pelvis is in its neutral position to start. Your feet we want to have placed in a space that feels like they're roughly hip width apart, and where you can push down through the heel and through the ball of the foot. So thinking about those 3 bony points in the foot, one at the heel, one under the big toe, one underneath the little toe. When you press down, you can feel the feet become active, you can feel the legs become active. And sometimes a slight turning out of the foot can make things feel a little bit more supported, and maybe one foot feels a little bit different to the other, but don't get obsessed about having to try and get things completely parallel with each other, because sometimes that just doesn't feel good. Once you've got that, make sure pelvis is in that neutral position, the shoulders are back and down, and we want the shoulder blades between the mat and the rib cage so that they're drawn back towards each other, allowing the chest to be really open, and your chin is slightly tucked in to create that length at the back of the neck. So we're going to start off with a couple of shoulder bridges. First 2 are just to see how things feel this morning. So on the exhale, we start to scoop the tummy in to push the lower back into the floor. Once the lower back comes in contact with the floor, we press the feet, squeeze into the backside and start to roll the spine up. So peeling the spine up until you get about to the shoulders. Inhale at the top, and as you're exhaling, you're keeping this pubic bone high. Tucking the tailbone under as we start to roll the spine down. So think about getting length in the back, shifting the butt towards the heels to get that length all the way until you come back into your neutral position. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale, scoop the tummy muscles in to tilt the pelvis back. Press the feet in, squeeze the backside, rolling the spine up. Inhaling at the top, and exhaling gently coming back down. So now is the time to adjust your feet if they need adjusted. If you're feeling it a lot in the hamstrings, bring the heels a bit closer into the backside. If you're feeling it in the knees, take the feet a tiny bit further away. So this is where you've now got your first option. You can keep your hands rested on the floor using your arms to press in, or we can bring the fingertips up so that the palms are faced in towards each other, just over the shoulders. Now as you've lifted the arms up, make sure that the shoulder blades don't lift off the floor. We want to keep them back and down. And remember, your option is always to keep the hands rested down on the floor. And we're going to go into that shoulder bridge again. So we're scooping the tummy in, peeling the spine up, pressing those feet in, squeezing into the back sides. Pausing at the top to inhale, and exhaling, keeping the pubic bone high as you roll the spine all the way back down. Use those tummy muscles to keep pressing in, and then all the way back. Now, if your hands are up, as you're coming up this time, you can take the hands back towards the floor. And then as the hips are coming back down, bring the hands back to where they started, just over the chest. If the hands are on the floor, you could take the option to bring the hands up to over the chest. And then as the hips come back down, bring the hands back down. So just doing whatever feels right for you here. We're going to do another 3 shoulder bridges. So you can have the arms moving, you can have the arms static, you can have the arms pressed to either side of the hips, whatever feels right for you. I'll do a selection of them, just in case you forget what any of them are. And then just this last one. And when you come down out of this last one, you can bring the knees up into the chest and take a little rock from side to side if that feels good. Bringing the feet back down onto the floor. Refinding the position for the feet, refinding the position for the pelvis. And the shoulders, we're going to bring the fingertips up to the table so that the elbows are out wide. And we're going to take this into a crunch. So your chin stays slightly tucked in. Imagine that you've got a tennis ball in there, you want to hold that in place, and that will help you stop pulling up with the chin. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, and we're bracing the tummy muscles, try to pull the ribs down towards the hips. And if the head and shoulders lift off the floor, that's great, let them lift. But only let them lift if you keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. As soon as it feels like you're pulling through the head, keep the head on the floor and just focus on getting that squeeze in through the tummy muscles. And the movement might only be that you lift a centimetre, and that's absolutely fine. It's not an aim to get you right upright here, so just lift as high as feels okay. Your option here to make things feel a little bit heavier is to straighten the arms out. Now if you straighten the arms out, the arm stays in line with the ear as you come up. Because if you're coming here, then you're using the arms to pull you up, so we don't want that. We want to keep the arms back and squeeze on the exhale. And inhale, keep things tight as you lower yourself back down. So you can keep both arms lengthened out, or you can come back to having the fingertips to the sides of the head. If that feels really uncomfortable to have the head out, your other option is to have the arms across the chest. But just keep those shoulders back and down wherever your arms are. Your next option is to bring one knee up into tabletop as you come up, and then inhale it back down, and then exhale the other knee into tabletop, and then inhale it back down. So just alternating. Only if you wish, of course. And then after the next one, we're going to start to add a bit of a rotation in. So as you crunch up, bring the knee up, rotate over, bring it back to the centre, inhale it back down. So exhale, crunch it up, and rotate, and inhale all the way back. So if you feel like your neck is pulling, you can keep one elbow on the floor. So as you crunch up, you can press into that elbow to give yourself a little bit of traction as you're coming up and getting that rotation. If it feels like things are moving really easily, both elbows come up and then twist. Protecting the neck all the time. That's where you're going to get the work. In the centre of the body. We're going to do this one more time to each side. And last one. Bringing it down. If the body needs a release, give it a release. And we're going to take a moment to check our positioning of the pelvis, of the shoulders. And then we're going to bring one knee up into tabletop. So when we come into tabletop, the knee directly over the hip, shin parallel to the floor. And if you pull the toes back, it just helps you engage into the hamstrings and into the back skate a little bit more. So imagine that you're pressing that foot into a wall in front of you. And then when you're happy you've got that, bring the other leg up. So the knees are still hip width. Both knees are over the hips, shins parallel to the floor. The pelvis is still in its neutral position. Now if this doesn't feel good for you today, or it feels like the lower back's taking work, then you bring your feet back down onto the floor, take that option. We'll bring the hands up so the palms face in towards each other, fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling, so we're in this bug position. On an inhale, right hand, left leg, extend away. And on the exhale, squeeze it back in, and then to the other side. Inhale, lengthen away, and exhale, squeeze it back in. So the arm and the leg that are not moving, they're staying really still as you extend out. Knee over the hip, hand over the shoulder, and then it comes back, and then to the other side. And then squeeze it back. So if you're not comfortable with the feet on tabletop, your feet are down, and we're here. Extending out. Keeping those lower tummy muscles in nice and tight. So take the option that feels right for you today. Wherever that might be. We're going to go one more to each side. And then take it into a nice rest. From here we're going to come over onto our side. Now I'm going to set it up first of all with my back away to you, and then I'm going to turn over just so that I can show you where I want you to be. So when you come over, soles of the feet in line with the back side. Your upper arm can be rested here. If your shoulder is sore, then you can put a pillow under there. And then I want you to check that your waist is lifted from the floor so that the spine stays nice and straight. Your hand is going to come in to the back of the hip. We're going to keep the ankles together. And on an exhale, you're squeezing your top leg up in this clam position. Inhale, keep everything tight as you lower back down. And exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, bring it down. And exhale, squeeze it up. Inhaling it down. And exhale, squeezing up. Inhale down. And exhale up. We'll do this another 5 times. So as we're lifting, the pelvis is staying really still. We're not letting anything roll through the waist or through the lower back. Working into the muscles deep in around the butt and around the hip. 2 more times. And then last one. And bring it down, let that leg move around, give it any movement that feels nice. And then we're going to keep that bottom knee bent, and we're going to straighten out the top leg. So the leg is running straight down in line, so if you hit your butt and your heel against the wall, they would both be equally touching. This top hand is still going to rest into the back. And what we want to do is check that the waist stays the same length here. So we don't want the waist to start collapsing. This lower waist is still lifted. Tummy's drawn in nice and tight. And then we're going to squeeze that top leg up and slowly control it back down. And squeeze that top leg up and slowly control it back down. And squeezing up and slowly control down. We're going to go for another 3. Keep the breath nice and smooth. Last 2. Last one. And bring it down, let the leg rest, and give the body any movement that you want, and then we're going to make our way over to the other side. So you can either change ends of the mat, or you can turn over, whatever way works for you best. So both knees are bent, soles of the feet in line with the back side. Head rested where it needs to be, thinking about lifting that waist. This top hand coming into the back of the hip, so the shoulders are backing down, tummy muscles are drawn in, and on the exhale squeeze it up. Inhale, control it back down. So both sides are going to feel a little bit different. This side might feel stronger, meaning the knee lifts a little bit higher. It might feel a bit tighter, meaning that maybe you're not moving quite as high. But whatever you're doing, don't let this roll away from you. Imagine that walls in behind, and sometimes it can help to put something in at the back of you here just to make sure that you're not rolling out, or to put your butt against the sofa if you're lying in the living room, or even go to a wall to do this. So squeezing up and back down. And if it starts to get really fatigued, then maybe as we go through the last 3, if they get a little bit smaller, don't worry about it. As you get stronger in around here, it will help. And one last time. And bringing it down. Take the leg anywhere that feels good to let it release off. And then we're straightening that leg out. So again, imagine that you've got a ball behind you, your heel and your butt equally touching. That bottom knee stays pressing into the floor, waist is still lifted. And then squeezing the leg up and controlling it back down. So maybe you inhale up and exhale down here, or maybe you exhale up and inhale. Just use the breath, it feels right for you. I like to exhale up and inhale down. We've got 3 more. And last one. And bringing it down. Taking it into any nice position that feels good. And then from there we're going to come over onto our tummies. As long as your feet don't cramp, have the toes pointed away. The way you point the toes away and you press the tops of the feet into the floor, that will help the upper part of the legs engage. Now if your feet do cramp, if you tuck your toes under and push the heels away, you'll still get that lift, but just be careful you don't overextend your knees. We're going to take the arms straight out in front. So lengthen the arms out and then roll the shoulders back and down so that you've got that length. We then want to check that the ribs and the pelvis feel nice and comfortable, so we're not digging the hip bones or the pubic bone into the floor. Your eyes are going to stay looking towards the mat, just so that the neck stays long and you don't put strain through it. Lightly press these edges of the hands down into the floor. Draw the tummy muscles up and in. On an inhale, right hand, left leg are going to lift up. And on the exhale, we slowly control that back down. And then to the other side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, control back down. So the arm and the leg that are not moving are lightly pressing into the floor to get some height. And the other side, lifting up and reaching so that you're getting a slight stretch diagonally across the body, pulling the tummy muscles up and in each time. We're going to do that one more time to each side. And when you finish that last one, you can stack the hands and give the hips a little bit of a rock from side to side. So we're going to finish off today with some back extensions. Back extensions, we're starting with the hands stacked on top of each other, forehead rested down, shoulders down away from the ears, tops of the feet pressing into the floor to get the legs and the butt active. Tummy muscles are drawn up and in. Pelvis is in its neutral position. Take an inhale here, and as exhale, head, chest and hands come up. Inhale at the top and exhale slow and control it back down. Inhaling at the bottom and exhaling coming up. Inhaling at the top, exhale coming down. So we've got an option here to bring the arms out into a square position. As you lift up, squeeze the shoulders back and down. Inhaling, exhaling, coming back down. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale, squeeze and lift up. Pulling the back muscles in tight, tight, tight. Inhale, bring the elbows back and then the shoulders, exhale, coming back down. So if that feels too heavy, bring the hands back in. Your other option, if it feels too heavy, to bring the arms up. Keep the forearms on the floor and lift and lower. So be wherever it is that you need to be. 2 more times. And then when you've done that last one, taking yourself into any rest position, giving the body movement that feels good. Put the hands under the shoulders, pushing your hips up and back. We're going to take it into child's pose. just to counterbalance the stretches. So toes together, knees go wide, back side goes into the heels. And letting the chest come forward. And taking a few deep breaths in and out there. Any other movement that feels nice here, take those movement options. And then when you're ready, just working your way back up. So all those options are about you listening to your body and doing what feels right for it in that session. Some days you'll feel super strong and you'll be able to do some options, and then other days you want to do other ones. There's no right or wrong. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on another video very soon.